All right, hey guys, welcome to the video. If you're new here, my name's Curtis, and today we'll be doing a first impression, well, kind of first impression review of Incense Crush by ORSAY. Now, this is a fragrance that was released back towards the end of 2024. ORSAY released 3 extracts, Flower Lust, Tonka Hysteria, and Incense Crush. I do own Flower Lust and Tonka Hysteria. And the other day when I went to the ORSAY store, I received this sample of Incense Crush right here. Now, I think towards the end of 2024, I did receive a sample of Incense Crush, but I never tried it on skin. I did smell it from paper, so this will actually be the first time that I'm trying this one on skin. So I'm excited to give you guys my first impressions today. So if you're curious to hear my thoughts and opinions on Incense Crush by ORSAY, then let's go. All right, guys, so here's my official sample of Incense Crush by ORSAY. And yeah, I have high expectations for this fragrance because Flower Lust and Tonka Hysteria are absolutely amazing. And I think just in general, I'm a huge fan of the house of ORSAY. Not just their extracts that they have, but also their regular line of fragrances. They just have such a unique kind of elegance and sophistication about them. And they work very well here in Japan, and they fit the Japanese aesthetic really well. So I'm a huge fan. And on top of that, they're just extremely well made, and I enjoy the smells of these fragrances. But Incense Crush was created by Julian Raskinay. And you know, you may or may not have heard of him. I'm a huge fan of his. And he takes a lot of his inspiration from Middle Eastern perfumery. So, you know, you do see some Middle Eastern influence in terms of his perfume creations. So I'm thinking we're definitely gonna see this today. And from what I remember smelling from the paper, I could definitely smell a bit of that in there. I do feel like this is a heavier fragrance, and I can't get the package open. What's going on here? I'm trying to get this open as I'm speaking here. There we go, finally got it. Okay, so here is my sample here, Incense Crush. Okay, I can't really smell anything from there. I'm gonna put this on my left hand here, okay. These ORSAY samplers have really, really nice sprayers, by the way. Okay, yeah, you are immediately, let me put this here, immediately getting hit with almost like kind of a smoky, very spicy, woody, leathery tone that's coming out. It's almost kind of smells like a burnt leather in a way, slightly rubbery, but extremely heavy. This is very dense and thick. This fragrance, just by smelling it now, is not going to be for everybody. This is quite a polarizing profile. I would say if you are someone who enjoys more kind of fragrances that hint at like the outdoors, like burning campfires, in heavy kind of darker style of fragrances, then you might enjoy a fragrance like this. But yeah, it is quite spicy and picking up on a bit of like incense maybe. And one other thing too, I haven't looked up the notes in here, so I'm not 100% sure. So I'm just kind of giving you my thoughts on what I think I'm picking up. What I'm saying could be complete rubbish, but I'm just, in terms of the notes, but I'm just trying to describe the feeling that I'm getting. So take all this with a grain of salt. You know, there is something kind of rough and ready about this that I really, really like though. But again, this is a darker, heavier profile. So like a fall and winter fragrance, and maybe even towards the back end of fall, like when you're really getting into those super cold temperatures towards the end of fall and winter, that's kind of when I would reach for a fragrance like this. But this kind of smells like a man's man. Like this is a manly fragrance, almost kind of like, all right, so my image of this is if you're kind of on a motorcycle wearing a leather jacket, you got a big beard, you're riding your motorcycle up to the forest. You get off your bike, you walk into the forest, you're sitting around a campfire, you're getting that woods and the smoke. It's just kind of basically infesting like your clothes and your jacket. And so now you have that kind of smoke stained leather jacket. That's kind of the vibe that I get. This is kind of like a big, burly, almost like lumberjack vibes is kind of the person that I see wearing this style of fragrance. But with that leather, like this is like a very dark, I wouldn't say smooth leather. This is just kind of a rough, a very aged leather. It's a mature leather. But you can definitely pick up on, it's rough, but at the same time, there is kind of an underlying kind of smoothness about this. But this is very heavy. So, I feel like for me to, like, this would be more of like I'm trying to think of a situation where I would wear this fragrance. Like this would have to be like I said, winter, kind of outdoors, I feel, evening. This is that kind of fragrance. I do like it. I would need to spend more time with this to see if this is like a full bottle worthy fragrance for me. But I do like, there's an earthiness about this fragrance that I'm also really enjoying. Like, it's almost like a grassy, it could be like vetiver. There might be vetiver in here, but you can definitely pick up on that. It's providing almost like this smoky earthiness to this. And vetiver can even come off slightly smoky in some cases, depending on what type of vetiver and how it's used. It can definitely come off like that. So I wouldn't be surprised if that's what this was. But it is a very nice blend of those kind of earthier tones with that kind of dirty, kind of mature leather, the smoky woodiness that you're getting. It is quite nice. But like I said, I'll definitely need to spend a bit more time with this to see, you know, if this is actually full bottle worthy for me or not. But okay, this is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna give this fragrance about an hour or so. I'll let this fragrance dry down, and then I'll come back with some thoughts on how this has dried down and give you some final thoughts. All right, guys, so I'm back. So it's been about an hour and a half or so, maybe a little bit over an hour and a half. And I'd like to give you my thoughts and opinions about how this fragrance has developed on my skin and just overall thoughts and impressions about this one. So what I'm getting from this in the deep dry down here, this has really, the leather has really started to take even more of a forward dominant note. And then that vetiver, I can still pick up on this, but the way it's blended together, that vetiver and leather blends together so well. Like, I'm loving the dry down of this, even more so than the opening. You know, it was good for me, the opening, but I'm really loving the dry down of this fragrance. But I would say, you know, if you're a fan of dark, woody, kind of smoky leathery fragrances, you're gonna love this. I am really, there's something that's very addicting about this. And I noticed in the time where I kind of took a break when I was letting this dry down, I was constantly doing this. Like, there was just something about it that I'm very drawn to. I can't put my finger on it necessarily, but I do realize that this is going to be a very polarizing scent. And I think in the environment that I'm at here in Japan, most people probably will not like this, but I really enjoy this one. So, I mean, I feel like this is gonna be a fragrance for me that if I do decide to get a full bottle, it's gonna be something that I'm gonna have to wear maybe when I'm going for like long walks or kind of in the evenings, like maybe if I'm outdoors somewhere. Those are the occasions where I'm gonna be wearing this fragrance, just because I know other people may not be as into this fragrance as I am. But man, yeah, there's something about this that's very addicting. But I would say, again, like the way that that vetiver almost is bringing like this smoky like quality, I guess, in a sense, that earthy smokiness, it just works so well with the leather here. I think Raskinet's knocked this one out of the park. I'm a huge fan of this, to be honest. But before I can commit to a full bottle, I would like to spend some more time with this sample. So right now we are in the heat of summer, so it's a little bit too hot for me to really kind of appreciate this. So I'm gonna wait for the fall temperatures to roll around, burn through the rest of this sample, and then I'll kind of make my decision about whether I want to purchase a full bottle of this or not. But yeah, I would say the extraits from d'Orsay are all pretty stunner, to be honest. This is definitely a good one, and I'm looking forward to spend much more time with this one when fall rolls around. All right, guys, so that's all I have for you for today. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you enjoyed today's content, and let me know down in the comment section, have you tried Incense Crush by d'Orsay? What are your thoughts and opinions? Well, I hope you guys are staying healthy and well, and I'll see you in the next video.